Indianapolis, as the quarterback goes so goes your team. That's been the mantra for a while in the NFL. Attribution for this quote goes to Bengals general manager Duke Tobin on the first full day of the 2019 NFL Combine. Any coach or executive speaking in front of dozens of media members or having a candid chat on the side would say the same. The smell of desperation might be a turn-off, but it beats the stench of losing or non-contending regular seasons that come with a QB hole. For all the national headlines, is Heisman Trophy winner Kyler Murray big enough for the NFL? And local interest, who takes snaps from center for the Redskins next season? Or the general buzz that comes with the game's most important position? There's some critical information worth understanding. NFL teams are not in love with the 2019 quarterback class. It doesn't appear to be necessarily as deep at the very top of the draft, Tobin said Wednesday during his media availability. We're still in the process of studying the 2019 quarterbacks. We'll keep looking at them. I think that there are a lot of people excited about next year's class, Broncos general manager John Elway said days after addressing Denver's quarterback woes by unofficially acquiring veteran passer, short-term solution Joe Flacco. That the 2019 class follows a year where teams were thirsty for the available options does not help their cause. Nothing against this year's quarterback class, but last year's class was unique, Steelers general manager Kevin Colbert said. It really liked the 2004 class, because there were probably 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in that class with Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, and Philip Rivers. Not to say the 5 drafted in the first round the last year will be Hall of Fame players, but it was a unique class. I think I'd appreciate what that class is, and we'll see where this class goes. With that attraction baseline established, let's add the following. For desperate organizations, even the flawed prospects appear like an oasis in the desert. Unless Murray's official height, 5'8", and weight, 190 pounds, have evaluators thinking of the lollipop guild asterisk, the Oklahoma star lands in the first round if not firmly inside the top 10 selections. Asterisk update, they do not. Positive measurements for Murray. Evaluators generally praise Ohio State's Dwayne Haskins, the odds-on favorite as the first QB drafted, yet acknowledge the one-year starter likely would slot 5th in the 2018 draft class. Accuracy concerns exist for Missouri's Drew Lock, inconsistency with Duke's Daniel Jones. Both enter the combine with mixed valuations, yet could easily land among the day 1 selections. Every team needs a quarterback and will crawl on their hands and knees through the desert searching. After all the college games and postseason observations, it's the NFL Combine where teams solidify their review and in some cases, define their level of desperation. A few quarterbacks have it all, and you better have the first pick in the draft if a guy has it all, Tobin said. Otherwise, you have to choose the deficit that you want. Are you willing to put up with a little bit of lack of size, a little bit of lack of mobility, a little bit of lack of arm strength? You have to kind of prioritize what you want your team to be and then draft to that at that position for sure. Others are unsure which traits are most desirable in 2019. There could be guys that physically can throw the ball better than anyone in this draft. Could run faster than anyone in this draft, but I don't know if those are the critical factors that they are, Vikings general manager Rick Spielman said. Everybody is trying, find an answer, and those are a lot of times subjective things you're trying to get to in an objective decision. Perhaps no projected first-round quarterback in recent memory defines the push-pull aspect more than Murray. The dynamic two-sport athlete chose football over baseball for legitimate reasons. His arm strength, accuracy and foot speed are impressive. Many of his traits blend perfectly into the modern NFL where pockets move and mobile quarterbacks are desired. However, man, couldn't he be a bit taller? Like the rest of the league, I think the kid is fascinating, draft analyst turned Raiders general manager Mike Mayock said of Murray. It's kind of where are we going as a league at the quarterback position? Is he too small? Is he dynamic? I think we're all trying to figure him out. I think all 32 teams in the league are trying to figure out the entire position. the Redskins' evaluation of their quarterback unit must produce migraines. Alex Smith's horrific leg injury last season likely eliminates their best option for 2019. His $20.4 million cap hit remains. Head coach Jay Gruden may believe Colt McCoy works for a season. Not many others agree. Acquiring a veteran free agent eats into Washington's limited salary cap space. Drafting a rookie requires patience for an organization that last made the playoffs in 2015. For Haskins or Murray, it may mean trading assets to move into the top 5. Whatever the plan, the Redskins need a big play. Maybe they fall in love during the combine process or become desperate enough to overlook flaws. Regardless, the same rule applies. As the quarterback goes, so goes your team. More Redskins news. Alex Smith's contract is going to take up a $20 million chunk of the Redskins' salary cap this offseason, and there's not much the team can do about it, either. You just have to bite the bullet, ex-NFL agent and cap expert Joel Corey said while on Redskins Talk at the Combine. Currently, Washington has just $17 million freed up to spend on free agents and draft picks. That's a lot of money in a lot of areas of life, but when it comes to pro football, that's a tiny budget. However, Corey explained in his interview how Washington can get to $35, $40 million by making a bunch of moves with their own players. Here are the precise steps he laid out that could create that much-needed breathing room for the burgundy and gold. Players to cut. Zach Brown, the linebacker, signed a 3-year contract last year but wasn't nearly as productive in his second season as a Redskin as he was in his first. Letting him go would give the Skins $5.75 million more to use. Stacey McGee only played 8 games in 2018 and Washington's defensive line is now its best unit thanks to its younger talent. If they were to drop McGee, they'd save $2.275 million. Possible restructuring. The savings above are something the franchise has total control over. Restructuring, on the other hand, requires the players to cooperate. With that being said, Corey sees the following as viable options. Vernon Davis, a 35-year-old high-priced tight end, is a little bit of a luxury, Corey said. Try to get him to take a pay cut. Changing up Davis's contract could provide a few million more to work with. And if you have to just part ways, that's $5 million in savings. Ryan Kerrigan or Trent Williams, Corey suggests approaching both of these well-established veterans, but not for a pay cut. Instead, he'd advise the Redskins to convert their salary to signing bonus. Doing that with one or the other would open up roughly $5 million. Josh Norman, here's one that Corey acknowledges is unlikely but still worth investigating. Norman will make $14.5 million in 2019. Would he be willing to accept a little less? Contract extension. Brandon Scherf, there's one more way you can get cap room, Corey said, before bringing up the idea of extending the 2015 first-round pick. The longer you wait to sign a Pro Bowl caliber player, he continued, it's going to cost you more in the long run. You can conceivably, depending upon how you structure, pick up $7.5 million doing that. You're going to chop the base salary down, make it a signing bonus. You can pick up significant cap room, add it all up and... So, let's say Brown and McGee are released, Davis restructures, Kerrigan or Williams does the same and Scherf gets extended. If those happen, the Skins would find themselves with roughly an additional $23 million, which gets them up to the $40 million Corey referenced. That would go up, too, if Davis is cut or Norman accepts a pay cut. The lesson is, the situation looks dire now, but it can be improved. Their wallets should be a bit thicker, and could be a lot thicker, by the team free agency rolls around. More Redskins news. Still feeling annoyed with Kirk Cousins for leaving last offseason? Upset about how Bryce Harper just abandoned DC? Hey, you're not alone. But if you're looking for a chance to distress and get over Cousins and Harper with some healthy boosts, then 2019 is the year for you. The Nats will face off against the Phillies 19 times this upcoming season, with more than half of them taking place in Nationals territory. That's 10 chances for you to let Harper know about your displeasure during every single at-bat. The outfielder returns to Nats Park on Tuesday, April 2nd for a quick 2-game series. After that, he returns for a 4-game set starting on June 17th. For the full schedule, click here. As for Cousins, there isn't really anyone to blame but the Skins themselves. Washington didn't even really have an offer for the quarterback, making his saga arguably more annoying. With that being said, you still have a right to be salty with him, and you have a chance to see him in person this year, too. As long as you're willing to travel, that is. The NFL schedule isn't out yet, but the Redskins will head to Minnesota at some point to see Cousins and the Vikings. So, just be ready to book some plane tickets once the order of games is officially released, which should be sometime in the spring. DC fans, both of these stars tormented you with never-ending negotiations that ended with them heading elsewhere. The least you could do is make sure you're there for both of their initial showdowns with the franchises they left, and let them know how much you, well, miss them. More Redskins news.